What's good with the last rebuilding project? We're gonna talk about the Detroit Pistons, the team that I got a lot of fans of. Now, I'm gonna analyze this real quick. The first thing they should do going into free agents is give Reggie Jackson his money. He averaged 18 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds a game. He was dominant. And he's only gonna get more comfortable, and he only gonna get better as the season and as he's playing good. He already got a coach that believe in him. He got a coach that he's getting used to, and Detroit can offer him the most years and the most money because they got his bird rights. So I think he's gonna stay in Detroit, and I think they're gonna give him as much money as he wants because he has high future, high potential, and he looks like he's ready to play. After ending up the last 2 months of the season, Reggie Jackson played like an all-star caliber player. So I like his potential and I like his development. And what better coach to get a point guard that made Jameer Nelson an all-star, a role player. Reggie Jackson got the right coach for a point guard to bring out his best talent. So I think the first thing for the Detroit Pistons to do is to re-sign Reggie Jackson to give his money. Now, the Greg Monroe thing. Should they re-sign Greg Monroe or should they let him walk? He has the ability as a free agent to leave anytime he want to because he ended up becoming he was a restricted free agent last year. He picked up his option to become a free agent this year. So most likely Greg Monroe is gone. But he wasn't a good fit anyway for the team because they need floor spacing for Andre Drummond and Reggie Jackson, who are their best two players and they building blocks and they put their future. So this team, now we're gonna run down some quick stats. They only score 98 points per game in the season. That's 18th. They was fourth in rebounding with Monroe and Andre Drummond, who's one of the best rebounders in the game. That got them to a top 5 rebounding team. They was 21st in assists. I suspect that to go up when they get more talent to put around this team. And it was 99th. They scored 99 points a game. That's 14th. That's middle of the pack. But they don't really got no defensive players or defensive stoppers. So to be 14th in defense with no defensive players beside Andre Drummond, who's still bad at defensively to himself, that's pretty good. And the same thing with the offense. To be 18th in offense and your offense got better at the end of the season, I think that they're going to improve on their offense and on their defense and on their assists when they get better personnel and better talent. So I think this free agency is going to be huge for the Detroit Pistons because it's looking like they're going to make a run for the playoffs. They came close last year, but Reggie Jackson made too many mistakes when he came to Detroit, and it blew their chances of making the playoffs. And they finished the season with 32 wins and 50 losses, which ties them 5th in the Central Division. So I think they can win 8 more games because in the East, you only got to win 40 to 42 games to make it to the playoffs. I think if they can get the right talent and the right pieces, they can easily be a 40-win team next year. And with Reggie Jackson becoming better and Andre Drummond becoming better and developing better, I think they got high chance of making the playoffs and doing some damage next year. So I like this team potential. Now we're going to talk about draft. Now, they got a top 10 pick because they won 32 games. So these are the best picks for them. If they get the 6th pick, they can get either Mario, Chris Tapp, Stanley Johnson, Frank Kaminsky, Miles Turner, Devin Booker, Kelly Oubre, and Jerry Grant, Sam Decker, and Bobby Portis. Now this team is a little confusing. They need a lot of things. So they're going to either have to draft a player that's coming in ready to play, or they're going to have to sign through free agency. Now, this team, we're going to talk about the roster. I never did this on a breakdown. But this team needs a lot of remodeling and a lot of retooling if they want to develop quick and get back to the playoffs, which they haven't did in the last couple of years. So they got Joel L. Anthony, Caron Butler, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Spencer Dinwiddie, Andre Drummond, Brandon Jennings, John Lucas, Cartier Martin, Jody Meeks, Quincy Miller, Tayshaun Prince, Greg Monroe, Anthony Tolliver, and Sean Williams. So they got a whole lot of money to throw out free agents. So the draft pick. They don't need a shooting guard because they got Jody Meeks and Katavious Caldwell Pope, who's developing and getting better. And Jody Meeks is a knockdown 3-point shooter. So they going one of them have to go to the bench. Now, I think the highest pick they should get is Mario Hinzenjo, who he's Hinzenja, because they need a small forward. They can space out the floor, shoot the three ball, and attack the paint. So I think the best pick available for them, the best fit for them is Mario. Now, the second best pick, if they get the 8th or the 9th pick, Chris Tapps is a stretch four. So if they don't re-sign Greg Monroe and they want to go and get a stretch four for Reggie Jackson and Greg Monroe for the floor spacing, to have shooters on the floor and to have the ability for Reggie Jackson to play, pass out, and get to the paint and finish the ball and throw alley-oop to Andre Drummond, they need floor spacing. So Chris Stapps and Stanley Johnson and Frank Kaminsky are the best shooting big man for the pick and roll and for the ability for Reggie Jackson to break down defense and have the ability to get to the paint and kick out the shooters. So the best picks after Mario is Chris Tapps, Frank Kaminsky, Stanley Johnson. Now, if they want to go with another small forward, say they can't get Mario, they can't get Chris Tapps, they get the 9th pick, they can get Sam Dekker because he is a small forward that can shoot decently and space out the floor and get to the rim every now and then. So the worst pick they should get is Sam Dekker. The best pick available is Mario because they need a small forward that can shoot, score, and get to the paint and athletic. The second best pick is Kristaps Porzingis because he is stretch four. They can't get him, get Stanley Johnson or Frank Kaminsky. In free agency, another thing, if they can't get the right talent in the draft, say they get a draft pick, they draft right, they still missing. They got Jody Meeks, they got Paul Caldwell Pope, and they get a piece from the draft. They still need to get better shooters. They still need to get a power forward so they can trade for Channing Frye or try to get another power forward they can stretch out the floor and knock down threes. So the biggest hole in the game, they should get a small forward and a power forward. Andre Drummond in a shooting guard position is good. They bench. They need to upgrade their bench, especially the point guard position and the power forward position. If they let go Greg Monroe and they don't give him his money, they need to upgrade the power forward in the starting lineup and upgrade the power forward on the bench. Same with the point guard. They need a backup point guard for Reggie Jackson, just so he can get more minutes off the court, and so that way if he get injured, they got a player. So they got rid of DJ Augustine, and we don't know how good Brandon Jennings is going to be when he come back from his Achilles tear. So I think they definitely got to get a backup point guard, a backup power forward, and most importantly, a better backup center, because Joel Anthony not going to cut it against good teams in the playoffs. So they need to definitely get a backup center, kind of like Jan Mahimi or Brandon Wright, or there's a lot of good centers that can protect the paint and rebound. So that's what they need, a rim protector and a rebounder. So that way Andre Drummond can get some minutes on the bench, and that way if he get injured, they got a good replacement. So they need a backup center, backup power forward, a starting power forward, a small forward. They already got Caron Butler, and a backup point guard. So that's who they should look for in free agency. And don't just get anybody. Get good quality role players that's actually worth minimum salary. If you got to pay players $5 to $3 million, do it. And I know Stan Van Gundy he want to win. So if you got to pay everybody $5 million, the mid-level exception, or $3 million for role players, do it. Because this team got 2 future stars and 2 future all-stars, and they need to start getting in the playoffs so they can get more development and more time to be a contender. So they definitely need to upgrade their bench and they start lineup if they want to make the playoffs. So let me know what you guys think. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your day. And I'm signing out. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.